Hi. So what I want to talk about today is men's intuition. I don't think it's a topic that comes up much. It never came up for me. When I was growing up, the narrative was very much on female intuition. Um, Rightly so. Female intuition is a brilliant guide to help you navigate the world. Um, I think the missing part of the story is that men also have intuition, but it's not part of the social narrative, and it's not part of what we teach sons. It certainly wasn't something that my father taught me. Um, so I came to find out about it later in my life. Um, and it took me some time to sit down and listen to that voice, and not just to listen to that voice, but to learn to trust that voice, to hear what it said and act on it. Because sometimes what it says could be um, counterintuitive to what I think I should do. But I think that counterintuitiveness is because I wasn't in a comfortable enough place to learn to trust that aspect of myself. And I think it's crucial for men to learn to trust their intuition. It is the best tool to help you navigate life. It is the best means of achieving personal success, however you want to define success. Because what it is that is you, that voice is you. It is your inner wisdom, and your relationship with yourself is defined by whether or not you trust your own wisdom. Because if you can't trust yourself, you can't ever trust anybody else. If you don't listen to yourself, then you're never going to listen to anybody else. And if you don't hear yourself, then you're not going to hear anybody else. You can only be as responsive to the outside world as you are to the internal world. Um, so learning to trust that voice, learning to listen to that voice and be guided by it, it's a fundamental tool in helping you access or interact with the world around you. I think it, for me, became very much more apparent when I became a father, because you think a lot more about you become I became more aware of my feelings, my weaknesses, the cracks in my personality. Children have, when it's a high pressure environment to have young children, and your cracks show up because simply because nobody's ever put that kind of pressure on you before. Um, and then you've also got to look at what you need to teach your children. I'm a great believer in you should heal before you have children. I didn't. I learned that the hard way. You should heal before you have children. Um, and then that intuitive voice is something that you would teach your children to listen to too. If you don't heal it, if you don't learn to listen to it, then you're not going to pass that knowledge on to your children. And it is not an understatement to say that is the single most important tool you can use to navigate the world. And I think for men in particular, there is a need to start listening to that voice more, to hear yourself more, to connect with yourself more in that way. Because the more you can become connected to yourself, the better your relationships externally will be, the better your relationships with your partner will be, your children, your parents, your friends. And yeah, it's all about creating enough space for that to happen and being in a space that allows that to happen. Because the growth is amazing, and it just empowers you to be more of who you are and more of who you're capable of being, and embracing it is actually a beautiful gift to the world. The best gift that you could possibly do as a man to the world is to build a better relationship with yourself. So thanks for listening.